When I was a kid, I knew that when I grew up, I wanted to work for the BBC, and I used to write tons of letters to different BBC departments. And these are the replies I got back. Busy people took time to reply to a little kid from Chingford, North London, who was bombarding them with letters. And for that, I will always be grateful. I got invited up to all kinds of bits of the BBC. I went to see a broadcast by the BBC Finnish service. Yes, there was a BBC Finnish service back then. I saw Sport on 2 go out, visited the radio newsroom. Oh, I'd forgotten about this one. When I was 11, I wrote a little song about the BBC and sent it in. A little bit embarrassing, but there you go. I got a letter back thanking me for it. And I thought that this would be a good moment for me to say thank you. Thank you to BBC staff of the past who replied to me, who encouraged me, and in some cases really inspired me to go on to work for this organisation. People like Pippa Dyson, for example, a children's TV producer, who took time to give me some really good career advice. And people like Alistair Milne, the former Director General. He didn't have to, but he took the time to write to a BBC bonkers school kid. One day he actually invited me up to Broadcasting House to meet him, so I got the day off from school and went up with my mum. I'll never forget that. And a big thank you to this man, John Aston. Now, he was head of BBC Graphic Design, an amazing guy, a huge inspiration to me. I think I'd scribbled down some ideas for new BBC logos and sent them in, and they got passed on to John Aston, who wrote back. And we kept in touch for years. He was an incredibly busy manager, but he could see that I was interested in TV, and he made time to write me very long letters with the very latest news about BBC Graphics and the BBC as a whole. He even arranged a week of work experience for me at TV Centre. Now, sadly, John passed away 20 years ago, I think, but I still have all the letters that he sent me, and I'd like to think that he'd be pleased that I eventually ended up working for the BBC. I suppose that these days, all of this would be email, wouldn't it? But you know what? I can't help feeling that there's something a little bit special about paper.